I think we are live. We don't have any hot dogs though. No hot dogs. If you watched this week's episode, season 3, episode 5 of Daryl Dixon, you will get the reference of hot dogs.
Then again, if you watched any of season 3, you'd get the reference.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's more. It definitely was more like right there in your face. This episode though. There's some moments in other episodes too. I'll give you that. But hot dogs were a thing again, apparently. So this was season 3. Oh, I thought that was a comment on YouTube already. It was a private chat. TGK sent a private chat that said hot dogs. So season 3, episode 5. There's a lot I think we can talk about. There's a lot that happened that was really cool and really unique, but I also feel like it was a throwaway story. And we can get to that at the end. I think you guys felt the same, maybe not, but let's just walk through this list that I have, and if there's anything else you guys want to touch on at the end, we can touch on, or as we're going through, if there's anything else that you want to bring up and touch on, we can do that as well. So the first thing I want to talk about is the fact that Justina, I think her name was, never actually volunteered.
Plot twist.
Yeah.
I think to the plot twist.
What's that?
Plot twist to the plot twist.
Plot twist to the plot twist. Which I'm trying to remember back to that episode, and I don't know if I thought that I thought we actually saw her say that she wanted to. Maybe not. Maybe she just confronted Fede, and we were led to assume that was the case.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's pretty sure she just went up and told him about how she knows that she hasn't been able to go because he's been taking her name out each time.
That's kind of what I was thinking too.
Yeah,
that may have been the case.
Then again, it could have been a mix of both. She could have been like, you can let me go instead, or I can tell everyone what was happening.
Could be. I think what they led us to think though was that it wasn't anything. That it was just them saying nope, we're not doing this. Or not. They led us to think that it was just her confronting him, at least on today's episode, this week's episode, that she confronted him and he's just like, nope, you're out, because he didn't want to deal with it. I'm trying to figure out how to get rid of the names that are on our screens, because they show up in I don't know. I'll mess with that as we're going. But that was the first thing that I thought was worth note and maybe kind of talking about a little bit. That was an interesting point, because then after Roberto went to get her, she willingly went, and I was thinking that it was going to be the whatever that the primitive dudes. I was thinking it was going to be them that captured him, but it was actually the whatever. I always think it's a Zukar, but I know that's not it, because that's sugar. But we were led to believe, or it seemed like I thought anyways it was going to be the primitive dudes, and it ended up not being them. Anything else you guys want to throw out on that point? Are we good to move on to the next one?
I think we're good. I'm just trying to see if I can get like pictures to throw up in the middle of stuff, but
okay. Alrighty. Next, this is just kind of a random note I threw on there. We have Daryl on his own again, which I did not think was going to happen, but I do think that leads to some interesting storytelling. I think Daryl, especially what we saw in this episode, what do you think, Common Magpie? Do you think Daryl gets into more trouble or less trouble, or does he make better decisions or worse decisions when he's on his own?
he is better by himself.
Better. I kind of think so too. I think it's difficult for him when other people are there, because then he is thinking about those other people and he can't as easily make the difficult decisions as he would when he's on his own. But that was a small element of what happened. And at this point, this is where I kind of feel like it gets off to be a throwaway episode, in a sense. So Daryl, again, spoiler alerts, if you have not watched, if you don't want to hear about what happens, then don't watch. Go watch the episode and then come back if you want to. But this, technically, Daryl goes off to further the main plot, going to Barcelona to try to find Justina and bring her back. Now, that by itself, yes, furthers the main plot. However, that's like where it stops. And from that point on, we run into, again, some very, very cool, very interesting stuff in this episode. I don't see how it actually ties into the story, except that it's this random thing Daryl did while he was on his way. Like, it doesn't actually further the story a whole lot. So the first one, the random dude with no eyes. That was really weird. We ended up seeing, obviously, what the case was there. Do you guys think there's going to be any significance to that going forward?
No.
Or is that just it?
No.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking too.
I feel like one of the main things they use that for, honestly, I think they mainly did that just so they could put it in the trailer to build up hype for it, honestly. Because they didn't really, sure, they had them in the episode, but for barely even 5 minutes, not even 5 minutes.
That could be.
And then that was also, I remember whenever we watched the trailer, I feel like that was a pretty whoa, what is that kind of moment? Like, what's going on?
I hadn't thought about that. That's actually a good point, because there are several parts from the trailer, the original trailer for season 3, that come from this episode. We've got that dude. I remember seeing the walkers pulling the train. I remember seeing the dude that had leprosy. What else? I think there was a couple other things, but there are several. So I wonder if maybe they did this episode just so they could have some of those cuts so they could throw into the trailer. But even then, they could have done that stuff and still had it progressing the story.
Yeah.
I feel like I said, especially after last week's episode, I feel like this was a throwaway episode. Because last week's episode, I still feel confident is the best episode of this season so far. One of the better episodes, I think, of the series. Okay. Since I already mentioned it, let's go on to the zombies pulling the train. That was a very cool idea. I think something I think can really get tiresome when you look at the zombie stuff is it's always the same thing. It's always the same thing, right? So the fact that they did something new and incredibly unique was a really, really, really very, very cool element to see. I would have liked to see them explore it more, but it was introduced and it's done in one episode. What are you guys' thoughts on that? Do you like it? Not like it? Think it could have been done better? What?
I know. I feel like that was. I kind of like that part.
Okay.
And there were parts of it I did like, and parts of it that I didn't like.
What do you think, Coming Magpie?
Same there.
What?
I said same there.
Same there.
They didn't think through it a lot though, since that guy could just have his horse stop at any moment.
Well, I think that's the thing though. He wasn't paying attention, and so he was just playing the music and wasn't really listening. And so when the walkers got loose, they actually walked faster than what he was riding his horse. The reason that they didn't normally is because they were pulling the train. So when they got cut loose, they caught up to him easily. I think it was interesting, especially it's a way that they can get around, they can move without having to really use power or electricity or a motor or anything like that. Actually got me thinking about, I wonder if they
with alive people.
Well, not necessarily with alive people, because I think then it becomes almost to the point of it's not worth it because you have to pay to feed and like give the people water and things like that. With the walkers, I wonder if you could do something
to do it in real life.
Oh no,
real people.
Not in real life. I was thinking like, so we saw in the Commonwealth they were by the train, right? So I wonder if there's a way that you could do something like that with trains going between communities that are being pulled by walkers somehow.
I'm pretty sure they said sometime in the. I know they said sometime in the original show, something about like building like railways or something between. I think it was like Alexandria and Oceanside.
Yeah, and we know that there's railways close to them too, because that's where. I don't remember her name. What's her face got shot when they first ran into the Saviors.
Denise,
that's her name. It was on the train tracks. So that is something, right? I mean, I think that could have been an interesting thing to play in, and if they end up, coming back with another show, maybe that's an element they can throw in there. Having that actually transport in between, I think could make it an interesting thing. The only thing though is whoever is out leading them, if you happen to run into a horde, like you're done. Like there's no way you're getting out of it.
No, it's Rick Grimes.
So I almost wonder if they maybe need to have like a speaker or something that's like connected to the front of the train and hanging over all the zombies and then out in front of them, so it attracts them to keep walking forward. But then you don't have to worry about somebody being out there hurt. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all my thoughts on the train. Anything else you guys want to throw out there about the zombie train?
I like your idea, except one problem with the speaker if more walkers come by, they're just gonna walk in front of the train.
Yeah, I mean, possibly. That's one thing that you would have to think about, but it could just be.
I'm sure if it's like just like 2 or 3, they'll probably just like join in with them. It's not like they're gonna pull the train or anything, but if it's like a big like herd of them,
that's where you could get in trouble. Yeah.
Yeah, because they're just gonna all like circle around it.
I agree.
I need a walker chariot.
A walker chariot. That's an interesting idea. So then, can you do that with other transportation?
Walker car.
Can you have doing like a giant hamster wheel that has a walker in it, and you're sitting on a like a chariot that's connected to it behind it. So you just have one walker that's walking constantly.
I feel like that'd be like,
it's like a tire pulling you.
Do. I feel like that'd probably be the slowest because the walker would probably fall over quite a bit.
Probably.
And then probably see you and probably turn around and try and grab you or something.
That's why you just have it looking forward somehow. Gotta have something there. That's an interesting idea, though. A chariot. Obviously, just other vehicles. I hadn't thought about that.
40 if 150.
A walker.
I like that.
There's a walk car driving straight for us.
How about the leper colony?
You mean the secret club that Daryl's not allowed to come into?
What was it you said when we watched it? Maybe we don't want to say that because it makes you seem very insensitive. We'll leave that. I'll tell you what, maybe one of these days we'll have our members thing up, and that can be members exclusive. Hear TGK talk about people. Okay, let's do the leper colony. I said, because this is another, we saw, what's his name, Mateo, I think. We saw him in the trailers. It seemed like he was going to be a big part, which he was a big part of this episode, but it's just done. He's gone. I said, when we first started watching this episode, I thought that was going to be Jeff Grimes. Because I was sold, that's why Carol made the comment, was that we were going to have Jeff Grimes in the show, and that is not what happened at all.
Not Jeff.
Now, maybe that will happen once they actually get to Barcelona, but I don't think so because there's only 2 episodes left.
2 things.
Yes.
One, a lot of people thought that Jeff was gonna make an appearance in this episode, that episode 5. And then 2, while I was looking for like pictures to put up while you're talking, I saw things that people were saying that, once again, I know that you disagree with this very much, but I saw things saying that this episode is the best of the season. It's really not.
Like, it wasn't. So when I say a throwaway episode, I don't mean it was a bad episode or poorly written or anything like that. I don't think that's the case. I think it was actually interesting. There's a lot of stuff. Like I said, I made notes here as we were watching through.
I preferred episode 4.
What's that?
I prefer episode 4.
Yeah, I do too. But one of the main reasons why, because episode 4 had a lot of the stuff, obviously not the same stuff, but it had a lot of things that were interesting, that stuff that we had not seen before, or it took something that we had seen before and kind of tweaked it a little bit or did something differently, but it also pushed the story forward. The reason I say it was a throwaway episode is because for the most part, except for the first 5, maybe 10 minutes, and the last 5, maybe 10 minutes, in total, maybe we're talking 15 minutes that actually progress the story at all. And even those, I mean, it was pretty basic how it was progressing the story. They kind of gave us a little bit of information and told us that Daryl was going to Barcelona. And then it looks like the one dude knows. They know now, possibly. But it was very, very basic as far as story progression goes. It did not seem to like that's what I mean when I say throwaway episode. I'm not saying it was a bad episode. It wasn't. It was a fun episode to watch as far as the new stuff. Like I said, the dude with no eyes was crazy. The leper colony was crazy. The zombie train was crazy. There's an awesome kill Daryl has that we're going to get to here in a minute, and that was a really, really cool kill to see. I think the bandits that are on the train was a really cool idea. There was a lot that was interesting about this episode, but it did not do like anything with the story, which when you only have 7 episodes in a season, you kind of need to use every episode. I get having some, as an example, in season season 10, I think, is where you have maybe it's 11, where Connie and the one dude are stuck in that house.
Oh no.
That was like a horror movie. It did not seem like a Walking Dead episode. It was very much like a horror movie. It had some interesting, cool ideas in it.
I don't want to go back.
It did not progress the story at all. It was a throwaway episode, but it was a fun episode, I think.
I don't want to go back.
For some of us, it was a fun episode.
It was terrible.
I thought it was a fun episode. But when you have 22 episodes in a season, you can have throwaway episodes that some random thing that you want to explore for one episode and then walk away and never talk about it again. Fine. But when you only have 7, you can't really do that, I don't feel like. I mean, that's over 10%. 10% of the season was like really not at all given to the story. Would you say Common Magpie?
The silly little guys.
Oh, the silly little guys. Do you have a picture of them?
Oh no.
I thought that's what you were saying. I thought you had a picture to pull up. Okay. So
wait, what silly guys?
From that episode.
Oh.
A horror movie.
With Connie and what's his face?
A black guy.
Yeah, it's the dude that Michonne had found. I don't know. I don't remember his name. Anyways, the leper colony. Thoughts?
The fact that you called them leprechauns.
I thought he said leprechaun at one point.
Called them leopards.
I did call them leopards, but that was a joke from The Office that you guys wouldn't get because you've not watched it. Yeah. I called them leopards, and then at one point it was I think it was on the after show, like the behind the scenes thing. They said something about lepers something, and I thought they said leprechauns. But there were no leprechauns in this episode. At least nothing that we saw. Now I was not sure at all because Mateo was one that we saw in the trailers. And you can tell, I mean, there's something, I mean, you can tell visibly there's something with his face that's different.
Wow. They have to be so rude.
I said it was different.
Virgil.
Now, I do think it's interesting that they threw that in there, that it's a colony. They're still by themselves out in the middle of nowhere. I do think it's interesting that they threw in some ties to the Spanish Civil War, and this was a city that was destroyed then. But Yeah, I didn't have really a whole lot else I wanted to bring up on that. It was kind of an interesting thing to throw in there. I think they probably could have developed it more if they wanted to do a longer season, and they could have had them as kind of a main plot point similar to a like an Oceanside or something like that with the original storyline, but they didn't. It was one mention and it's just gone. Okay, let's get on to the sweet kill that Daryl made. This was one of the cooler kills I think we have seen on The Walking Dead. This was another thing I didn't mention, but it was very much they had like these bike duels. So Daryl and this other dude were riding towards each other, and they both like shot. And Daryl hit him, and he hit Daryl's bike, and it ended up getting away and stuff. But then this guy comes after Daryl again, and Daryl has this. What do you say? It was like a switchblade, but it was kind of like a katana, and so he extends it out, and this dude's like driving at him on a dirt bike with a like a circular saw blade on
like a pizza
handle.
cutter.
Yeah, something like that. Like it's almost like an axe, and he goes to use it, and Daryl like and slices him up. It was really quick. It was swift, but it was a very, very cool kill, I think. What do you guys think? Would you rate it as one of the top? Maybe that's something we should do one time. The top zombie kills in The Walking Dead and the top non-zombie kills in The Walking Dead.
Would we rate the top people kills as in like how cool the kill was, or like how satisfying it was to finally happen?
Either or. Maybe we'll talk about that off. But
10 out of 10 on how satisfying it was to finally have him dead after that minute of screaming.
He did. He was sitting there, and we started joking about it because it was legitimately, he was sitting there for like a full, like, I think it had to be over 60 seconds, and he would like scream, and then it would cut to Daryl like looking at him screaming. Then he would scream, and then it would cut to Daryl looking at him screaming. And then he would scream, and then it'd cut to Daryl again. But yeah, so that's really all I had as far as note-wise. The only other thing I have, which we've already talked about, is I felt like it was a throwaway episode. I don't think it was a bad episode. I think it was interesting. There was a lot of interesting stuff, good stuff, but it didn't progress the story really. I think you could have taken it out completely and not really had much difference. What were you going to say, TGK?
Just one second. I'm about to share my screen.
Okay. Let us know in the comments. What did you guys think if you watched it? If you haven't watched it yet, go watch it and then come back and tell us what you think. Oh, the most important thing in this episode. We'll share this really quickly. Hot dogs.
I may now rest peacefully. I may now die peacefully knowing that this shared with the world.
Should make a new thumbnail with a hot dog on it.
Bet. Give me 5 minutes.
I'll update it. So that was good. It was good. And that's Daryl as he was leaving Carol. Like he was trying to like tell her basically, everything's gonna be fine, it's gonna be good. And he's like hot dogs, and he walked off. It was funny. Overall, like I said, it wasn't a bad episode. It just was a throwaway episode. There wasn't driving much of the story, which I have more issue with since there's only 7 episodes in total for this season. But yeah. Anything else you guys want to throw out before we hop off? Is there anything else that stuck out to you guys that you liked, didn't like, thought should have been different? No? Okay. Well, let us know in the comments what you think of the episode. If you haven't watched it, go watch it, come back, let us know. What you think? Am I wrong? Are we completely off base? So this is a throwaway episode. Does it progress the story more than what we're saying, or what I'm saying at least? I guess. What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. We got a lot of stuff in the works behind the scenes that we're doing, and there's going to be even more coming out. So don't forget to do all that, and don't forget